Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is a scammer. Do not be scammed. I will not be soliciting you for anything. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn, April 2021 money and career, Capricorn. April 2021 money and career, Capricorn. April 2021 money and career, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And now for the chakra energy. Capricorn, April 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. Oops. And finally, the energy we are to be mindful of. What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of? April 2021, money and career. What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, this one. Fantastic. Now we're going to start with the crowning of the tarot, which is the moon. So we're crowned by the moon, which is Pisces energy, time frame February 19th to March 20th. It's also fear. So during this time, we might be very apprehensive about things. So just be aware of that as we are moving forward. The Five of Pentacles, fear of poverty, is definitely something that's coming forward. The Five of Pentacles is the poverty mentality. Five of Pentacles is the card of lack. We have the Fool, so we need to move forward from that lack, which is easier said than done, especially if it's become ingrained in us, and learn how to celebrate us with the Six of Wands. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. It's interesting. Around money during this time, we have to be very, very cautious. Watch your money. Watch your pennies. Yeah, because the Four of Pentacles is vampiric energy, is this kind of like draining away of wealth. And so here we just need to be mindful of that. Ooh, very interesting. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So there's a healing that's coming, but as we're moving forward and as we're building up the courage to take that leap and start to celebrate ourselves, we have fear, we have doubt, we have blessings coming in, but because we have the fear and the doubt, we can negate those really rather easily. All right, let's look at the, what is it, chakra, there we go, the chakra message, which is listening. That's going to be really important because a lot of people are going to be speaking during this time. They're going to be their get-rich-quick schemes. It's going to be, oh, what I want, what I need. Listening to what's truly desired, what's truly needed, what's truly wanted during this time is going to be so absolutely important. This is the throat chakra. This is embracing our voice, but also it's listening to the places in between. Isn't the saying that God is in the places between the words, in the breath? And so here, that's really what we're starting to notice. And we're starting to know this with a sense of self, a sense of discovery, a sense of what we desire. And there's a need for quiet. And as we have that quiet come forward, oh goodness, there we go. It leads us to the energy we are to be mindful of. It is the Lord. Well, the Lord is kind of like the overlord here, is what divinity immediately said, was it's the overlord. It's the sense of, I owe this to somebody, or this is mine because of somebody. And it's like, no, stop. This isn't a place of lack, a place of doubt. This is a place of strength. And what this person is going to do is say, I'm stronger than you. But Capricorn, very few people are stronger than you. All right. So just having that bit of knowledge is astoundingly empowering. And it's looking at things and saying, okay, if I step back from simply being materialistic, and why we need to do that during this time, even though we're talking about money and career, is because money, and it's money. We can advance really far in our careers, but we can still find ourselves having overspent, having, miscalculated things. And this is a time where we look at the prosperity, the money, what we desire, and we need to bless it. And we also need people not to control us through money. And so here, this person is going to see this as a weakness and say, I can absolutely know where to hit. I absolutely know where to hit. I absolutely can kind of control the situation because of the doubt that you have. And so that's going to be the biggest thing during this time. And I know we can't make money manifest from heaven, right? But in a way, if we stay true to who we are, if we let ourselves walk to the beat of our own drums, then yes, we can. Yes, we can start to create something rather extraordinary. And during this time, it's breaking away from the fears that have guided us for so long. The moon is beautiful because the moon is the reflection of the sun's light. And the moon shows us what in the light of day can be very overwhelming. And it sounds odd to say, that the light of day, the sun, the blessings, the happiest card in the whole entire tarot, can be overwhelming, but it can. Because we have so much to distract us. The moon takes away the distractions and can give us energy, can give us an understanding that may not be exactly what we want, but is exactly what we need. And so when we look at the moon, when we look at the quiet, when we face our fears, when we face the fears that come up, when the world is silent, when there is nothing to distract us, that's when we start to see what we truly need, what we truly desire within ourselves, and where we truly want to be, and what is holding us back. So we're crowned by fear and doubt, and we're also crowned by the ability to take that fear and make it into our greatest allies, to take those enemies and make them warriors for us. Because if we can conquer our own minds, which is a tricky thing in and of itself. I mean, our own minds can be these terrible tar traps. If we can conquer our own mind, we can conquer our life. We can move ourselves forward. And that becomes astoundingly powerful. And that's exactly what we want to do. But we have the poverty mentality. Now, the poverty mentality can be through no fault of your own whatsoever. It can be through how we were raised, our caregivers, how they spoke about money, fights about money. It can be through, our own bad experiences. It can be through past life. It can be through generational. Oh, we never have any money. We've always had to struggle. Yeah, and whenever we got ahead, somebody stole it away from us. So we can have these scars that really weren't of our making, but what we were born into. The Five of Pentacles makes that astoundingly terrifying. It's like, well, what if I can't break this cycle? What if I don't get to be wealthy? What if, or not even wealthy, just comfortable? I know we have this world where we need to buy and have the fancy cars and the huge house and, make everybody jealous. But why? What does it matter what everybody else thinks? If we are contented within our lives, that is the exquisite thing. And so the Five of Pentacles is breaking this poverty, is not being on the outside of security, but being within that security. It can be walking past it. We might have had a really long, hard road to get to a place where we feel like we have our feet firmly planted on the ground. But now we're starting to get there, or we are there. And what's happening is our mind is saying, oh no, you can't get comfortable. Because whenever you get comfortable, whenever you think, okay, I can let down my guard, that's when you get striked off your feet. That's when things become overwhelming. That's when you just can't. And this is the time where we need to look at things and say, oh yes, I can. Oh yes, I can. What other people think is impossible can be part of my reality. What other people, have laughed at me about can be my saving grace. So it's not living for them, it's living for us. And it's not looking at the failures and saying, man, I'm never going to succeed. It's like, wow, look how far I've come. Look how brave I've been. And it moves us to the Fool, because when we start to change the poverty mentality, when we start to believe in ourselves and take the worry and say, I can worry up and down the Mississippi, it just isn't going to get me anywhere. It isn't going to move my life in any direction but down. Worry, and I am the queen of worry, and this is something I work on constantly. Worry is like having a noose around the neck. It just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And so here, to be able to breathe, to be able to live life in a way that is joyous and prosperous, we have to walk away from the fear. And the fear will come back and smack us in the face at the oddest times. I have to be like, oh, hello, old friend. You don't get to destroy me. It moves us to the Fool, because once we've faced the fears, once we've understood the poverty mentality, it moves us to the Fool. And the Fool is the person who gets to be foolish. It's like, oh, why the heck are you doing that? Why the heck are you going after that? It's like, because I need my dreams. I need my dreams. Some people can be terribly practical. And I was always a bit jealous of those people who could sit there and make their plans and have their, very practical, grounded world and live in what other people saw as sensibility. But there are people who are meant to be dreamers. There are people who are meant to walk a little bit in fairy tales. And I'm not talking about Disney fairy tales. I'm talking about fairy tales and mythologies that shaped our world, that sing to the very soul of who we are. There are people in this world who get to have that spark of magic in them. And it is like magic to be able to see beyond the chaos of this world. And now it doesn't matter if you are a scientist, a physicist, a, engineer, or if you are an artist or a shopkeeper or, a librarian, to have that spark come forward and to be in your work, to be in what you do. That sets you on a path different from everybody else. That sets you on a way forward that people just don't understand. And they may never. That's okay. This life is not for them, it is for us. And this is a life where we get to embrace our power and our honesty and our tenacity. This is a world where we get to lead forward. And that's what we're doing here. People will say, during this time, as we're looking at our dreams, as we're aligning ourselves once again with the things that we loved before the world made us think, oh my gosh, that's so silly. When we are embracing this, what we are going to see is we're going to see ourselves moving forward. And people are going to say, that's foolish. What the heck are you doing? Why are you spending time on that dream? Become sensible. Put your feet firmly on the ground and cement them in place. And that would be worse than anything. This is a time to say, I cannot be the hero of my story if at first I am not the fool of somebody else's. And it moves us to the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is being able to celebrate ourselves. The Six of Wands is also being able to say, job well done. Go me. I did this. I moved forward this way. I went for it. Instead of berating ourselves and saying, well, why couldn't I do this? And why couldn't I do that? And why couldn't I? It's like, no, celebrate you for who you are. The Six of Wands is doing a job, and instead of saying, well, I should have started earlier, I should have been more organized, I should have, gotten more done, it's like, look what I did. Look at the day and how it went. And be able to sing in the grace. Being able to sing in the beauty. To raise the life of yourself and say, I've done well. There's a sense here of passion, of purpose, of determination. It doesn't matter if you're not where you want to be yet. Every step that you are taking is getting you there. Every twist and turn and divine detour is getting you to a place that is rather extraordinary. And it leads us then to the Four of Pentacles. And this is why Spirit is saying here, watch your money. And this isn't because anything bad, but this is going to be a time where you can feel financially rather vulnerable, even if you're not vulnerable, even if I have money in the bank, everything is secure, there's going to be this panic. And it can be through that, kind of subconscious memory of the fight that you had to go through to have the money, of the hard work and the discipline and the disappointments and the heartbreaks and the long nights and the crying yourself to sleep type of thing, to be able to get to where you wanted to be able to have that place of security. Or you can be going through that right now and thinking, I'll never get there. But here's the thing, we will get there. The path, and what the Fool says, is that the path will not be like everybody else's path, and that is okay. We always have the herd of people walking that way. Why not see what the heck is over here? The Four of Pentacles, that's vampiric energy when it comes to prosperity. And it's a sense of, I have to guard myself, so I can't look at new things, I can't think of new things, I can't waste my time, broadening my horizons, because I'm just holding on. And I have nothing left. Like, it is just holding on and trying my hardest. The Four of Pentacles is saying enough is enough. It's breaking the vampiric chains. It's breaking the people who just drain us, who just say, nope, have to keep on taking, can't possibly let you live your life, can't possibly let joy come in. The Four of Pentacles is tricky. Be aware of that trickiness. The Four of Pentacles is that place where the fear starts to come in, the doubt starts to come in, the anger starts to come in. Be aware of that place. And be aware of the power of self that is moving you forward. The power of realization, the realizing, wow, you know what, when I'm around that person, when I go back to my desk or when I start working again, I get really down and I'm not as productive. The power to say, you know what, I don't deserve to be treated that way. I don't deserve to be spoken to like that. No, if it's with your boss and they're just kind of having a power trip, that's one thing. To know that about the person and be like, wow, man, that's really sad. The fact that you got kind of bully people who are in one way or another dependent upon you, that's low. And being able to see ways forward instead of feeling stuck and trapped, that's going to be a sign that you're breaking this poverty mentality, that the world is opening up and that you are opening up to it. It leads us to the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is healing. The Ace of Cups is God's source spirit, however we see the divine universe, handing us a gift of passion, a gift of creativity, a gift of the opening of the heart and the soul. That's why we're putting a bit of our heart in everything that we do. And that's why people will not do the things that we do the same way. So it's kind of like, and I know this might sound odd. Okay, so what Spirit is saying here is that there is a spark of human interaction. There is a spark of compassion. There is a spark of brilliance that is within people. And it cannot be replicated by a machine. It cannot be trained into somebody to kind of work like a drone. It's either had or it is not. And it's the spark that's going to come forward. It's the spark that's going to weave you into the power of your world and what you desire and what you're looking for and where you see things. So here, this is going to kind of wash away. Also with the Ace of Cups, this is going to wash away a lot of the disappointments, the angers, the fears, the upsets, the upheavals. And this is going to start bringing you forward, bringing you to a place where it's like, oh, I can see clearly. Oh, I understand what I want. Oh, I can look at it this way or that way. And it's not as fatalistic as it once seemed, as nihilistic as I thought. There's more here than meets the eye. And I can embrace that more powerfully and tenaciously and purposefully. And it moves us then to connecting with the spirit message, which here, let's see, which is, ooh, well, that was fast. Which is peace, which is being able to be at peace as we create. Because when we are out of balance with the pentacles, because we are represented by pentacles in the minor arcana, we feel out of balance with ourselves. And that's why we're facing the fears, but also having the healing come forward. It's like we're going to have to face things that overwhelm us, that make us doubt, that make us think that, wow, I just can't do it. But then we start to move forward and we start to celebrate that pathway forward. We start to celebrate that rise to self and to what we desire. And all of a sudden, it's more than we realized. We're in a place where we feel more balanced. We feel more secure. We feel like this is the life I was supposed to be living. And it leads us then to our spirit animal message. Angels and spirit guides. All right. Which is the mouse spirit. Tend to the small things. Because we're going to want to focus on the really big things. Or, okay, so here's the catch with tend to the small things. There's going to be this kind of pendulum swing with us during this time. Either we're going to want to look at the big picture, we're going to want to look at the big things, we're only going to be able to focus on the big things, or we're going to get caught up in the minutia of everything. It's kind of like every little line just has to be absolutely in place. And that can be maddening. When Spirit is saying here, tend to the small things with the mouse spirit, it's saying that the grandiose things, yeah, that's what everybody notices. But it's the small things that matter. It's not everything being perfect. It's not being caught up in the details. But it's the small acts of kindness. It is the opening of the heart. It is the passion of the soul. It is the daily things that we overlook because they become routine, that make everything. You know, when you look back at your childhood, we look at the big things, right? We look at the trips and the times things were exciting. But what really makes a childhood is the steadiness, is the love, is the security that's there. And if you have that, that becomes extraordinary. If you don't have that, you're on wobbly ground to begin with. And it's just like in a relationship. You can have that partner that when you're around people, when it's all a show, oh my gosh, they are just so attentive, it's insane. It can almost be like too much, or you just feel like a movie star. But then when you're at home, they could care less. You're not asked, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of coffee? You know, anything like that. They never decide to do the laundry or anything. It's always just you. But when people can see, that's when it matters. It's like, no. It matters when nobody can see and nobody knows but you. So with the mouse spirit, that's going to be the important thing during this time for financial success, for prosperity within our career. It's the small things. And it's the knowing that the small things matter more than we realize. It leads us to our subconscious spirit animal message, which is the fox spirit, think on your feet. Why? Because the doubt and the fear comes in and we think, oh my gosh, I can't. Thinking on our feet, being challenged, having to move forward, having to embrace our grace, has us thinking about things in a very different way, has us embracing ourselves in a very different way. It moves us then to the subconscious spirit message, which is beauty. We start looking at the beauty within our world, within ourselves, within what we desire, within what we're longing for. All of a sudden, because we're tending to the small things, because we're quieting down our world when everybody else is revving up theirs and giving themselves like ulcers, just absolutely, positively making themselves worried. It's like, no, I'm looking at the beauty. I'm connecting with the moment, the laughter, the joy, the birds singing, the sun coming through the trees. I'm connecting with that, and it's connecting with me. And it gets to be beautiful. It moves us then to the subconscious chakra message, which is Mother Earth, the Earth Star chakra. This is connecting with our inner selves. This is connecting with the earth, with what we desire, with who we were born to be. The Earth Mother, okay, Mother Earth is caring and nurturing and compassionate. But she is also hurricanes and tidal waves and blizzards. She's fierce. And that's what we're connecting with. We're connecting with the nurturing nature, but we're also connecting with the fierceness and the ferocity that gets to be us. We then have the subconscious person message. It's the moon coming through again. It's fear. And it's saying, if we can tame the subconscious and the conscious self, not tame it so much, but understand it, not have it be always such a mystery, through meditation, through, through checking in on how balanced we are, where we are in our day, where we are in our lives. Like, how do we wake up? How are we going to sleep? How is every moment in between? Checking in and saying, how are you? And if we're not okay, letting us express that. One way or another, it can be like, oh my gosh, this is really bothering me, or oh my gosh, this has to change. And saying, okay, well, what steps can I do now to bring that forward? What steps can I do to embrace my way into my future? Instead of letting the fear build up and the worry build up until it strangles us, until it just becomes too much. It leads us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Be patient. Wealth is on its way. The payoff is coming. It's not the way that we expect, as it never is. Divinity takes us down roads that we never thought we would walk. But the prosperity is coming. We have to have patience. We cannot, it's kind of like having raspberry bushes outside. When I was little, my brothers and I used to go and always pick the raspberry bushes when they came. But sometimes we'd forget. We'd be too busy playing, and we'd miss the raspberries when they were ripe, and all the birds would get them. But we couldn't make the raspberries ripe when we were ready. So here, it's just being mindful. It's watching and saying, okay, well, I don't want all the birds to eat my blessings. And it's that type of connection that we have now. It's that patience. It's that knowing that things will be ready when they are ready. I mean, that sounds so silly to say, but it is so true. We can't force it. Divinity guides us in a way that is unexplainable. And we have to be patient, but yet ready for the blessings to come and the tides to turn. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we are mindful of the prosperity around us, but also of the negativity that has held the prosperity from us. And we sever those ties in an exquisite way. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.